Mountain goats are the GOAT when it comes to mountain climbing and navigating impossible to navigate terrain. And when arrogant predators who refuse to recognize their superiority try to catch them, they almost always end up tumbling down to their deaths, which is exactly what we're about to see today. A peculiar standoff unfolded high in the mountains when a golden eagle transformed into an aerial enforcer here, preventing a mountain goat from ascending further. The massive bird hovered like a living drone, using intimidation rather than direct attack to control its target's movement. The goat's usually confident climb turned hesitant under the eagle's watchful patrol, as it was worried that it might attack it at any moment. Rather than risking physical confrontation, the eagle maintained its aerial blockade, suggesting its goal was protection of nearby nesting territory rather than hunting. The goat's natural parkour abilities allowed it to climb back down and avoid the eagle's wrath, and the eagle was generous enough to leave it alone after that. Deadly pursuit at high altitude turned catastrophic when a snow leopard's relentless chase of a mountain goat ended in both animals plummeting from the cliff face here. The leopard's superior speed left the goat no escape route along the narrow mountain ledges. The moment of capture proved simultaneously victorious and disastrous, the leopard's successful grab sending both predator and prey over the edge. These goats are exceptionally hard to capture, and even when they're cornered, they will choose death over capture, often dragging their predators down with them, which was exactly what happened here. Going after such a stubborn prey may seem foolish, but there aren't that many options at such high altitudes. Lightning struck in the mountains when this snow leopard launched its perfectly timed ambush on an unsuspecting mountain goat. The grazing prey never registered the danger until the predator's jaws were already locked on its back. The attack executed with such speed that defense proved impossible. The goat tried to drag the leopard down with it here too, but it was too young and too light to pull that off. It was a quick and decisive kill, with the leopard eventually dragging its kill to a safer location for feeding. Despite the goat's legendary climbing abilities and adaptation to the steep terrain, it proved no match for the leopard's explosive attack speed, and the leopard was a fully grown one too, which played a big part in its success. This leopard's insistence on catching its target turned into a game of chase when its initial capture of a mountain goat didn't end the hunt. Despite having the goat in its jaws, the predator's inexperience allowed its prey several chances at escape. Each time the goat managed to break free, the leopard's superior speed quickly erased any advantage. The pursuit down the hillside became a series of captures and escapes, with the goat's desperate bids for freedom repeatedly causing both of them to fall and roll down the rocky mountainside. No wonder how many times the goat slipped away. It couldn't outrun its former pursuer, but it was finally able to get away after disorienting the big cat with so many falls and so much smashing against the rocks. On a treacherous mountainside, this snow leopard launched its attack on an ibex from higher ground. The predator's footing was shaky, and it only took the ibex slowly walking away for the leopard to lose its grip. The ibex's evasive maneuvers were successful, and after an intense chase that wasn't caught on tape, the big cat ended up falling off to its death. The leopard's blind determination proved catastrophic, and it ended up losing its life instead of gaining a meal. Stealth turned to chaos when a leopard's carefully planned ambush sent both predator and prey careening down a near-vertical mountain face here. The initial attack succeeded, but the captured goat's desperate struggle transformed their descent into an uncontrolled plunge toward water below. The pursuit down the impossibly steep slope pushed both animals to their limits, neither able to check their speed on the treacherous terrain. Their headlong rush ended with an unexpected splash as the goat plunged into water, instantly switching from mountain athlete to desperate swimmer. The leopard's frustration was obvious as its prey escaped into the liquid sanctuary, its successful hunt literally washing away. Like dropping a biscuit in tea, the predator's prize dissolved before its eyes, leaving nothing but the daunting prospect of another exhausting climb back up the mountain. Bears are not much better at this, by the way. Intent on catching a mountain goat, this bear found itself struggling against the very terrain that it thought it could dominate. As it climbed after its prey, the steep, rocky face quickly turned into an obstacle rather than an advantage. The bear's substantial weight, which gives it strength on flat land, became a burden, causing it to lose its footing on the narrow cliff ledges. Once it started to slip, there was no stopping the inevitable descent. The bear crashed down the steep incline, bouncing off sharp rocks on its way down. Despite the species' renowned ability to absorb impact and withstand injuries, this fall seemed like an exception. The sheer force and unforgiving height appeared too much for the bear's usual resilience, leaving it in a crumpled state at the bottom. Gravity proved to be the predator's fiercest opponent, turning its aggressive pursuit into a fatal miscalculation. Here's a tense confrontation that took place on a narrow mountain ledge, when a mother goat found herself facing down a hungry bear. The bear eyed both her and her kid as potential meals, but the mother wasn't backing down. She placed her kid between herself and the rocks, stamping her hooves forcefully against the rocky ledge, signaling the predator to think twice. The bear hesitated, recognizing the risk of attacking on such dangerous terrain. The mountain goat's positioning was impeccable, her kid tucked safely next to her as she stood defiantly, ready to fight or even push them all over the edge. The bear made several attempts to advance, but each time the possibility of slipping and falling to its death gave it pause. Eventually, the bear decided to abandon its attempts, retreating slowly, while the victorious nanny goat held her ground, her kid safe under her protective watch. We all know how agile and light on their feet foxes are, but even they are not a match for the elusive mountain goats. This young mountain goat found itself pursued by a fox on the steep cliffs of its rocky home. The fox saw with each leap and step, the kid put more distance between itself and the determined predator. Soon, the fox was left behind as the goat nimbly climbed to safety. These two ibex were descending a steep mountainside in search of water when they caught the attention of a nearby fox. Spotting an opportunity, the fox began chasing after them, hoping to score something to eat. But the ibex were well adapted to the mountain's harsh terrain. As the chase began, their descent showcased why mountain goats are so difficult to hunt. They leapt down impossible angles with incredible precision, even when one of them briefly slipped. Years of evolution had shaped their hooves and instincts for just such situations, allowing them to recover quickly and continue their escape. The fox attempted to follow, but the steep slopes quickly proved too much. The ibex descended with grace and ease, their sure-footedness making the fox's pursuit seem clumsy. Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And please, turn on your notifications bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.